Welcome, gentle traveler. Tonight we embark on a journey together, a journey through one of the most extraordinary substances in our universe, water. Before we begin, let us settle into this moment. Take a deep breath, let your shoulders relax, feel the weight of the day begin to dissolve, like ice melting into a gentle stream. The great martial artist and philosopher Bruce Lee once shared words of profound wisdom, words that will guide us through this evening's exploration. He said, "Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend." These words hold a universe of meaning. And tonight, as you drift toward peaceful slumber, we shall explore why water has captivated the human imagination since the dawn of consciousness itself. Let your body sink deeper into comfort. Let your breathing slow, and let the story of water wash over you like gentle waves upon a moonlit shore. Consider, if you will, that every drop of water on Earth today is the very same water that existed billions of years ago. The water in your glass tonight may once have quenched the thirst of a dinosaur. It may have fallen as rain in ancient forests, long before the first human walked the earth. This is our first fact about water. The earth is a closed system. No new water has been created. Since our planet first formed, the same water simply cycles endlessly, from ocean to cloud, from cloud to rain, from rain to river, and back to the sea again. The great Leonardo da Vinci, artist and scientist of the Renaissance, once observed, "Water is the driving force of all nature." How right he was. Let us consider the numbers, though not in a way that will stir your mind. Rather, let these facts settle into your consciousness, like snowflakes landing on still water. About 71% of our Earth's surface is covered by water. This is why astronauts looking back at our planet see a brilliant blue marble floating in the darkness of space. Our Earth is, in many ways, a water world. And yet, of all this water, only about 2.5% is fresh water. The rest is salt water, the ancient oceans that cradle our continents. Of that precious fresh water, most is locked away in glaciers and ice caps, or hidden deep underground in aquifers. Less than 1% of all the water on Earth is readily available for human use. Think of that. On a planet that appears so blue from space, we live with such a precious and limited supply of drinkable water. The philosopher Lao Tzu, who lived in ancient China more than 2,000 years ago, wrote, "Nothing is softer or more flexible than water, yet nothing can resist it. Let this truth settle into your heart as you continue to relax." You, dear listener, you are made of water. As you lie there in peaceful stillness, know that approximately 60% of your body is composed of this remarkable substance. Your brain, that marvelous organ that is perhaps beginning to quiet now, is about 75% water. Your lungs contain even more, at around 83%. Even your bones, which seem so solid, are about 31% water. When you were born, your tiny body was about 78% water. As we age, this percentage gradually decreases. In a way, growing older is a slow drying out, a gentle evaporation of our essence. The human body can survive for weeks without food, but only days without water. Every cell in your body requires water to function. Every chemical reaction, every thought you think, every dream you dream, depends upon this simple molecule. Your heart pumps about 2,000 gallons of blood through your body each day. That blood is mostly water. It carries oxygen and nutrients to every corner of your being and washes away the waste products that would otherwise poison you. The poet W.H. Auden wrote, "Thousands have lived without love, not one without water." How profound that truth resonates when we consider our own bodies. As you breathe now, slowly, calmly, you are losing water vapor with each exhale. Throughout the day, you lose water through breathing, through your skin, through all the invisible processes of living. Your kidneys filter about 50 gallons of blood every day, extracting waste and excess water to form urine. These two small organs, each about the size of your fist, perform one of the most important jobs in your body. They maintain the delicate balance of water and minerals that keeps you alive. When you drink a glass of water, that water begins to be absorbed into your bloodstream. Within just 5 minutes, within an hour, it has reached every cell in your body, replenishing, refreshing, renewing. Let us now consider, in the gentlest way possible, the remarkable chemistry of water. Do not let these facts awaken your mind. Instead, let them float past like clouds across a summer sky. A single molecule of water is made of just 3 atoms, 2 atoms of hydrogen, the simplest and most abundant element in the universe, bonded to 1 atom of oxygen. Scientists write this as H2O. This simple combination creates something utterly unique in nature. Water is the only substance on Earth that naturally exists in all 3 states of matter, as solid ice, as liquid water, and as gaseous vapor, all within the temperature range we experience in our daily lives. Here is something remarkable. When most substances freeze, they become denser and sink, but water is different. Ice floats on water. This anomaly is one of the reasons life exists on Earth. The scientist and philosopher Albert Einstein once mused, "Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Looking into water is perhaps the deepest look of all. Because ice floats, frozen surfaces on lakes and oceans form at the top, not the bottom. This layer of ice insulates the water beneath, allowing fish and other creatures to survive the winter. If ice sank, bodies of water would freeze solid from the bottom up, killing most aquatic life." Water has what scientists call a high specific heat capacity. This means water can absorb a great deal of heat before its temperature rises significantly. This property makes water a wonderful regulator of temperature, both in our bodies and across our planet. The oceans act like enormous heat reservoirs, absorbing warmth from the sun during the day and summer months, releasing it slowly at night and during winter, Without this moderating influence, our planet would experience far more extreme temperatures. Water is often called the universal solvent. It can dissolve more substances than any other liquid. This is why water in nature is never truly pure. It always carries minerals, gases, and other dissolved substances within it. This dissolving power is essential for life. The nutrients from your food dissolve in water, so they can be transported through your blood. The minerals plants need dissolve in soil water, so roots can absorb them. Even the oxygen you breathe must dissolve in the fluid lining your lungs before it can enter your bloodstream. The surface tension of water is remarkably strong. This is why water forms droplets, why you can fill a glass slightly above its rim without spilling, and why some insects can walk on water's surface, as if it were a thin, elastic film. Jacques Cousteau, Point, the legendary ocean explorer, once said, "The sea, once it casts its spell, holds one in its net of wonder forever." Perhaps that spell begins with water's extraordinary properties. Close your eyes now, if they are not closed already. Let us follow the journey of a single drop of water as it dances through the eternal cycle that sustains all life on earth. Imagine a raindrop falling from a cloud. This drop began its journey perhaps over the ocean, where the warmth of the sun caused water to evaporate, rising invisibly into the sky. High in the atmosphere, the water vapor cooled and condensed around tiny particles of dust, forming the clouds that drift across our skies. When the droplets in the cloud become too heavy, they fall as rain. Each raindrop takes about 2 minutes to fall from the cloud to the ground, depending on the height of the cloud and the size of the drop. A raindrop might land on a leaf in a forest. From there, it might slide down to the ground, soaking into the soil, deep in the earth. It might be drawn up by the roots of a tree, traveling through the trunk and branches until it reaches a leaf where it evaporates again, returning to the sky. Or perhaps the drop lands in a stream, joining countless others in a journey toward the sea. It might spend days, weeks, or years making this journey, tumbling over rocks, passing through lakes, finally reaching the ocean, where it mixes with the vast waters of the deep. The average water molecule spends about 9 days in the atmosphere, about 2 weeks in rivers and streams, 10 years in a lake, and more than 3,000 years in the ocean, before evaporating and beginning the cycle anew. Some water molecules become trapped in glaciers, where they may remain frozen for hundreds of thousands of years. Others sink deep into underground aquifers, where they might stay for millions of years, waiting in the darkness, until a well or spring brings them back to the surface. The poet Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "The creation of 1,000 forests is in one acorn. We might say the creation of countless lives is in one drop of water." Every year, about 121,000 cubic miles of water evaporates from the Earth's surface. About the same amount falls back as precipitation. This cycle has continued for billions of years and will continue long after we are gone. Approximately 320 million cubic miles of water exists on Earth. This number has remained essentially constant for billions of years. The water cycle simply moves this water around, purifying it through evaporation, distributing it as rain and snow. Let your mind drift now to the ocean. Vast, mysterious, eternal. The oceans cover more than 139 million square miles of our planet. They contain about 97% of all Earth's water. Life began in the oceans more than 3.5 billion years ago. For billions of years, all life existed only in water. Even today, we carry the ocean within us. Human blood has a salt concentration remarkably similar to seawater. We are, in a sense, the ocean walking on land. The deepest point in the ocean is the Challenger Deep, in the Mariana Trench, nearly 7 miles below the surface. The pressure at that depth is over 8 tons per square inch, crushing enough to destroy most submarines. And yet, life exists even there, in the deepest darkness. The marine biologist Sylvia Earle, sometimes called her deepness for her pioneering underwater explorations, has said, "No water, no life, no blue, no green." She reminds us that even the forests on land depend upon the oceans for moisture. We have explored less than 5% of the ocean floor. More humans have walked on the moon than have visited the deepest parts of our own seas. The ocean remains Earth's last great frontier, full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. The average depth of the ocean is about 2.5 miles. If you removed all the water from the oceans, you would find an alien landscape of mountains, valleys, plains, and trenches, the longest mountain range on Earth. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge lies hidden beneath the Atlantic Ocean. The ocean absorbs about 30% of the carbon dioxide humans release into the atmosphere. This helps moderate climate change, but it also makes the ocean more acidic. The chemistry of the sea is slowly changing, affecting coral reefs and shellfish around the world. Coral reefs, sometimes called the rainforests of the sea, support about 25% of all marine species, despite covering less than 1% of the ocean floor. These living structures are built by tiny animals that extract calcium carbonate from seawater. The tides that rise and fall along our coastlines are caused primarily by the moon's gravitational pull. The sun also contributes, and when the sun and moon align, we experience the highest and lowest tides, called spring tides. This celestial dance has shaped coastlines and influenced human activities since ancient times. The author Arthur C. Clarke wrote, "How inappropriate to call this planet Earth, when it is quite clearly ocean. From space, this truth is undeniable. If oceans are the heart of our water world, then rivers are its arteries, carrying life-giving water across the continents. Since the beginning of human civilization, rivers have drawn people to their banks. The Nile, flowing north through Egypt, is the longest river in the world at over 4,000 miles. Ancient Egyptians called their land the gift of the Nile, for without its annual floods, the desert would have claimed everything. The Amazon carries more water than any other river, about 20% of all fresh water that flows into the oceans. During the rainy season, the Amazon can be more than 25 miles wide in places. It is home to more species of fish than the entire Atlantic Ocean. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus made a famous observation about rivers. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. This ancient wisdom speaks to the constant change. That defines both water and life. Rivers carve their paths through the landscape over millions of years. The Grand Canyon, one of the most spectacular natural wonders on Earth, was carved by the Colorado River over 5 to 6 million years. The canyon is more than a mile deep in places, exposing rock layers nearly 2 billion years old. Waterfalls occur where rivers encounter sudden changes in elevation. Victoria Falls, on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe, is over 5,000 feet wide and 350 feet tall. The local name for the falls is Mosi Oa Tunya, which means the smoke that thunders. A healthy river supports entire ecosystems. Fish swim in its waters. Birds nest along its banks. Trees and plants draw nourishment from its moisture. Countless animals come to drink. A river is a ribbon of life threading through the landscape. Rivers also carry sediment from mountains to the sea. The Mississippi River deposits about 500 million tons of sediment into the Gulf of Mexico every year. Over millions of years, this sediment builds deltas, creates new land, and shapes coastlines. The poet Langston Hughes wrote, "I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. Rivers connect us to deep time, to the slow processes that shape our world." Let your imagination rest now upon the still surface of a lake, perhaps a mountain lake, surrounded by pine forests, its surface so calm it perfectly reflects the sky above, or a great inland sea, so large you cannot see the opposite shore. Lake Baikal in Siberia is the deepest lake on Earth, more than a mile deep. It contains about 20% of all the fresh liquid surface water on our planet. The water in Lake Baikal is remarkably clear. In winter, you can see down over 100 feet through the ice. Lake Superior, one of the Great Lakes of North America, is the largest freshwater lake by surface area. It contains enough water to cover all of North and South America to a depth of 1 foot. The lake is so large it creates its own weather patterns. Henry David Thoreau, who spent 2 years living beside Walden Pond, wrote, "A lake is the landscape's most beautiful and expressive feature. It is Earth's eye, looking into which the beholder measures the depth of his own nature." Many lakes form in glacially carved depressions. As glaciers retreated at the end of the last ice age, they left behind countless lakes across North America, Northern Europe, and other regions. Minnesota, called the land of 10,000 lakes, actually has more than 11,000 lakes, larger than 10 acres. Some lakes form in volcanic craters. Crater Lake in Oregon formed when Mount Mazama erupted and collapsed about 7,000 years ago. The lake has no inlet or outlet. All its water comes from rain and snow. Its deep blue color is famous around the world. Lakes can also form behind natural dams created by landslides, or in sinkholes where underground limestone has dissolved. In arid regions, temporary lakes form when rain fills desert basins, then slowly evaporate, leaving behind salt flats. The Dead Sea, though called a sea, is actually a salt lake between Israel and Jordan. It is the lowest point on Earth's surface, more than 1,400 feet below sea level. Its water is almost 10 times saltier than ocean water, so buoyant that swimmers float effortlessly on its surface. Listen now to the sound of rain in your mind, the gentle patter on a roof, the soft drumming on leaves, the rhythm that has lulled humans to sleep for countless generations. Rain forms when water vapor in clouds condenses around tiny particles called condensation nuclei. These can be dust, pollen, sea salt, or even bacteria. Without these particles, clouds would not produce rain. The smell of rain has a name, petrichor. This distinctive earthy scent comes from oils released by plants during dry periods, combined with a compound called geosmin produced by bacteria in soil. When rain falls, these substances are released into the air. The poet Khalil Gibran wrote, "Many a doctrine is like a window pane. We see truth through it, but it divides us from truth. Let us open all windows and let the fresh air come in. Let the rain of knowledge cleanse and refresh your mind tonight." Raindrops are not actually teardrop-shaped as commonly depicted. Small raindrops are nearly spherical. Larger drops are shaped more like hamburger buns, flattened on the bottom by air resistance as they fall. The wettest place on earth is Mawzinram, a village in northeastern India, which receives an average of about 467 inches of rain per year. The driest place is the Atacama Desert in Chile, where some areas have received no recorded rainfall in over 400 years. Rain falls at different speeds depending on the size of the droplets. Small drizzle drops fall at about 4 feet per second. Large raindrops can fall at speeds up to 20 feet per second. Terminal velocity prevents them from falling any faster. A single thunderstorm can drop more than 1 billion gallons of water. The largest raindrops can be nearly half an inch across. Any larger and they break apart into smaller drops due to air resistance. In tropical rainforests, trees create their own rain through transpiration. Trees release water vapor into the air, which rises, cools, forms clouds, and falls again as rain. The Amazon rainforest generates about half of its own rainfall this way. The scientist Carl Sagan once said, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff, and we might add that we are made of rain stuff too, of the water that has fallen from the sky since Earth began." A snowflake forms when water vapor freezes directly into ice crystals around a dust particle in a cloud. As the crystal falls, more vapor freezes onto it, building the intricate six-sided patterns we know so well. It is often said that no two snowflakes are alike, given the number of molecules in a snowflake, about 10 quintillion, and the countless variations in temperature and humidity each crystal encounters as it falls. This is essentially true. each snowflake is a unique creation of nature. The physicist Wilson Bentley spent nearly 50 years photographing snowflakes in Vermont. He took over 5,000 photographs, documenting the infinite variety of these tiny ice crystals. He wrote, "Under the microscope, I found that snowflakes were miracles of beauty." Fresh snow can be up to 95% air, which makes it an excellent insulator. Small animals survive winter by burrowing under the snow, where temperatures stay close to freezing, even when the air above is far colder. Glaciers form when more snow falls in winter than melts in summer. Over decades and centuries, the accumulated snow compresses into ice. Glaciers today store about 69% of all fresh water on Earth. Glaciers move, though so slowly we cannot see it. The fastest glacier on record moved about 40 miles in 3 months. Most glaciers move only a few feet per day. As they move, they carve valleys, grind rock to powder, and reshape entire landscapes. Antarctica holds about 90% of all ice on Earth. If all Antarctic ice melted, sea levels would rise about 200 feet. Most major coastal cities would be underwater. Ice cores from Antarctica contain air bubbles with samples of ancient atmospheres, records of climate dating back hundreds of thousands of years. Icebergs are chunks of glaciers that break off into the ocean. The word comes from the Dutch ijsberg, meaning ice mountain. Only about 10% of an iceberg is visible above water. The rest floats hidden beneath the surface. The naturalist John Muir wrote, "One touch of nature makes the whole world kin. In the silent world of ice and snow, we find a beauty that connects us to something greater than ourselves." As you rest now, let us consider how water touches every aspect of our daily lives. From the moment we wake to the moment we fall asleep, water is our constant companion. The average person in developed countries uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water per day. A single shower uses about 17 gallons. Flushing a toilet uses 1 to 3 gallons. Running a dishwasher uses about 6 gallons. But direct household use is only a small fraction of our water footprint. The food we eat requires vast amounts of water to produce. Growing 1 pound of rice requires about 500 gallons of water. 1 pound of beef requires nearly 2,000 gallons. Your morning cup of coffee has a hidden water cost. It takes about 37 gallons of water to grow the beans for a single cup. A cotton t-shirt requires about 700 gallons to produce. A pair of jeans needs nearly 2,000 gallons. Mahatma Gandhi, the great advocate for simplicity and peace, once said, "The world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed." This truth applies especially to water. Clean drinking water was not always available even in wealthy nations. Water treatment and chlorination only became widespread in the 20th century. Before that, waterborne diseases killed millions. Today, access to clean water is still a luxury for over 2 billion people worldwide. The act of washing hands with soap and water is one of the most effective ways to prevent disease. This simple habit has saved more lives than any medicine. During pandemics, the humble act of hand-washing becomes a powerful shield. Water softeners remove calcium and magnesium from hard water. Hard water is not harmful to drink, but it can leave mineral deposits in pipes and appliances. Soft water creates more lather with soap and leaves fewer spots on glasses and dishes. Hot water heaters are one of the largest energy consumers in most homes. Heating water accounts for about 18% of home energy use. The Romans heated their famous bathhouses using systems of fires and hollow walls. Today we use gas, electricity, or solar power. The sound of running water has a calming effect on the human mind. This is why fountains are found in gardens and public spaces around the world. The sound is thought to mask other noises and connect us to nature, reducing stress and anxiety. Your body is communicating with you constantly about its need for water. Thirst is the most obvious signal, but by the time you feel thirsty, you may already be mildly dehydrated. Mild dehydration can cause headaches, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and mood changes. Even losing just 2% of your body's water can impair physical and mental performance. The color of your urine is a simple indicator of hydration. Pale yellow suggests good hydration. Darker yellow indicates you may need more water. Clear urine might mean you're drinking more than necessary. Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing, understood the importance of clean water and sanitation. She wrote, "The very first requirement in a hospital is that it should do the sick no harm. Clean water is fundamental to this principle." Water helps regulate body temperature through sweating. When you're hot, sweat evaporates from your skin, cooling you down. This evaporative cooling can remove a significant amount of heat, preventing overheating during exercise or in hot weather. Your joints are cushioned by synovial fluid, which is primarily water. Staying hydrated helps keep joints moving smoothly. The cartilage in your joints is about 80% water. Water helps prevent constipation by keeping the digestive system moving smoothly. It softens stool and helps food move through the intestines. Many digestive problems can be improved simply by drinking more water. The brain floats in cerebrospinal fluid, which is mostly water. This fluid cushions the brain, protecting it from impact against the skull. It also carries nutrients to the brain and removes waste products. Drinking water before meals can help with weight management. Water creates a feeling of fullness, which may lead to eating less. Some studies suggest that drinking cold water slightly increases metabolism as the body works to warm it. Hot baths and showers have been used for relaxation and healing for thousands of years. The ancient Romans built elaborate public baths that were central to social and cultural life. Japanese onsen, or hot springs, remain popular today for their perceived health benefits. Agriculture is by far the largest user of fresh water, accounting for about 70% of all water withdrawn from rivers, lakes, and aquifers worldwide. Without irrigation, much of the world's food could not be grown. Irrigation has been practiced for at least 8,000 years. Ancient civilizations in Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, and South America developed sophisticated canal systems to bring water to their fields. The ancient Romans built aqueducts to carry water across long distances. Some of these structures still stand today, more than 2,000 years after they were built. The Pont du Gard in France rises over 160 feet high. The inventor and statesman Benjamin Franklin wrote, "When the well is dry, we know the worth of water." Farmers understand this truth perhaps better than anyone. Modern drip irrigation systems deliver water directly to plant roots, reducing waste compared to traditional flood irrigation. These systems can cut water use by 30 to 50% while increasing crop yields. The Ogallala Aquifer beneath the American Great Plains is one of the world's largest underground reservoirs. It has made possible the vast grain production of that region. But the aquifer is being depleted faster than it can recharge. A concern for future food production. Rice paddies are among the most water-intensive agricultural systems. Yet rice feeds more than half the world's population. New varieties and growing techniques aim to reduce water use while maintaining yields. Rainwater harvesting has been practiced for millennia. Simple systems capture rain from rooftops, storing it for dry periods. In some arid regions, this is the only reliable source of water. Desalination, the process of removing salt from seawater, is becoming increasingly important as fresh water becomes scarce. Countries in the Middle East rely heavily on desalination plants. The process is energy intensive but improving in efficiency. Water and energy are deeply intertwined. We use energy to move, treat, and heat water, and we use water to generate energy. This relationship is sometimes called the water-energy nexus. Hydroelectric power harnesses the energy of falling water to generate electricity. About 16% of the world's electricity comes from hydropower. It is a renewable, clean source of energy, though building dams can have significant environmental impacts. The Three Gorges Dam in China is the world's largest power station by installed capacity. It can generate over 22,000 megawatts of electricity. Building it required relocating over 1 million people. The visionary inventor Nikola Tesla said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Water carries and transforms energy in all these ways." Thermal power plants, whether burning coal, natural gas, or splitting atoms, use water for cooling. Power generation is the second largest user of water after agriculture. Most of this water is returned to the environment, though often at higher temperatures. Wave energy converters capture the motion of ocean waves to generate electricity. Tidal energy uses the rise and fall of tides. These technologies are still developing but offer potential as renewable energy sources. Steam power revolutionized the world during the Industrial Revolution. Water heated to steam expands dramatically, creating pressure that can drive engines and turbines. This principle still powers most electricity generation today. The energy required to pump water from underground aquifers is substantial. In California, water-related energy use accounts for about 20% of total electricity consumption. Conservation saves both water and energy. Throughout human history, water has held profound spiritual significance. Nearly every religion incorporates water into its rituals and symbolism. Water purifies, renews, and transforms. In Christianity, baptism uses water to symbolize spiritual cleansing and rebirth. The ritual traces back to John the Baptist and the River Jordan. Holy water is used in various ceremonies and blessings. In Hinduism, the Ganges River is sacred. Millions of pilgrims travel to bathe in its waters. Believing this washes away sins and aids in spiritual liberation. The ashes of the cremated are often scattered in the Ganges. In Islam, ritual washing called wudu precedes prayer. Water purifies the body as preparation for communion with the divine. The Quran describes paradise as gardens beneath which rivers flow. The Roman philosopher Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Like time, water flows ever onward, and we would be wise to use it thoughtfully." In Japanese Shinto tradition, water plays a central role in purification rituals. Visitors to shrines wash their hands and rinse their mouths before approaching the sacred space. Waterfalls are considered especially sacred. Native American traditions often honor water as a sacred element. Many tribes have water ceremonies and view rivers and springs as having spiritual power. The phrase "water is life" has become a rallying cry for water protection. In ancient mythology, water deities abound. Poseidon ruled the seas in Greek mythology. The Aztec rain god Tlaloc demanded sacrifices for rain. River goddesses were worshipped along the Nile, Ganges, and countless other rivers. Fountains have served as gathering places and symbols of abundance throughout history. The great fountains of Rome, such as the Trevi Fountain, celebrate the engineering achievement of bringing water to the city and the life-giving power of water itself. Artists and writers have found endless inspiration in water, its ever-changing nature, its moods ranging from serene to tempestuous, its essential role in life, all speak to the human imagination. Claude Monet spent years painting water lilies in his garden at Giverny. His series of over 250 paintings captures the play of light on water, the reflections of sky and trees, the peaceful beauty of the pond. These paintings are among the most beloved works of Impressionism. The Japanese artist Hokusai created the Great Wave off Kanagawa around 1831. This iconic image of a towering wave threatening small fishing boats has become one of the most recognized works of art in the world. It captures both the power and beauty of water. Herman Melville's novel Moby Dick opens with the famous words, "Call me Ishmael," but it also reflects deeply on water. Whenever I find myself growing grim about the mouth, whenever it is a damp, drizzly November in my soul, I account it high time to get to sea as soon as I can. The poet Mary Oliver, who found so much wisdom in nature, wrote, "Someone I loved once gave me a box full of darkness. It took me years to understand that this too was a gift." She also wrote extensively about water, rain, and the sea. Water is a symbol of the subconscious in psychology. Carl Jung saw water in dreams as representing the depths of the psyche, the unknown parts of ourselves. Diving into water symbolizes exploring the unconscious mind. Music, too, has been inspired by water. Handel's water music was composed for King George I, to be performed during a royal boat trip on the Thames. Debussy's La Mer captures the many moods of the sea in symphonic form. In film, water often carries symbolic meaning. Rain frequently accompanies emotional or transformative scenes. The ocean can represent freedom, danger, the unknown, or the passage of time. Let us explore some of the more unusual and surprising facts about water. Some of these may be new to you. Others may remind you of things you once knew. Let them drift through your consciousness, like leaves floating on a gentle stream. Hot water freezes faster than cold water under certain conditions. This counterintuitive phenomenon is called the Mpemba effect, named after a Tanzanian student who observed it while making ice cream. Scientists still debate the exact reasons for this effect. Water can exist in a state called supercooled liquid. Very pure water can be cooled below freezing without turning to ice. A sudden disturbance or the introduction of a seed crystal can cause instant freezing. At very high pressures, water can form unusual types of ice. Scientists have identified at least 17 different forms of ice, each with a different crystal structure. Some of these exist only under extreme conditions found in the outer solar system. The theoretical physicist Richard Feynman once said, "I think nature's imagination is so much greater than man's. She's never going to let us relax." Water continues to surprise scientists with its unusual behavior. Water reaches its maximum density at about 39 degrees Fahrenheit, not at freezing. This is why ice floats, and why lakes freeze from the top down rather than the bottom up. A faucet dripping once per second wastes over 3,000 gallons per year. A leaky toilet can waste 200 gallons per day. Small leaks add up to significant water loss. Jellyfish are about 95% water, making them among the most water-rich animals. Cucumbers are about 96% water, one of the most water-rich vegetables. Sound travels about 4 times faster through water than through air. This is why whales can communicate over vast distances in the ocean. Blue whale calls can be heard hundreds of miles away. Light penetrates only about 300 feet into ocean water. Below that depth, the ocean is completely dark, yet life thrives even in the deepest, darkest parts of the sea. There is water in space. Astronomers have found a massive reservoir of water vapor surrounding a quasar more than 12 billion light-years away. It contains 140 trillion times as much water as all of Earth's oceans. Water shapes our climate in ways both obvious and subtle. The distribution of water across the planet determines where forests grow, where deserts form, and where humans can thrive. Clouds cover about 60% of the Earth at any given time. These clouds reflect sunlight back into space, helping to cool the planet. But clouds also trap heat, acting as a blanket at night. The net effect of clouds on climate is complex and still being studied. The Gulf Stream is a powerful ocean current that carries warm water from the Gulf of Mexico across the Atlantic to Europe. Without this current, Western Europe would be much colder. London is at the same latitude as Calgary, but has much milder winters. The climate scientist James Hansen has warned, the climate system is an angry beast, and we are poking it with sticks. Changes in water patterns are among the first signs of climate disruption. El Niño is a climate pattern that occurs when surface waters in the central Pacific Ocean warm significantly. This can cause droughts in some regions and floods in others. El Niño events can affect weather patterns around the world. Monsoons are seasonal winds that bring rain to South Asia, Africa, and other regions. The Asian monsoon brings most of the year's rainfall to India in just a few months. Billions of people depend on these seasonal rains for water and food. Sea levels have risen about 8 inches since 1900. This rise is caused partly by thermal expansion, as warmer water takes up more space, and partly by melting ice from glaciers and ice sheets. Coastal cities around the world face increased flooding risk. Hurricanes and typhoons draw their energy from warm ocean water. As ocean temperatures rise, these storms may become more intense. A Category 5 hurricane releases energy equivalent to millions of nuclear bombs. Droughts are becoming more frequent in some regions as climate patterns shift. Extended droughts can devastate agriculture, deplete water supplies, and increase wildfire risk. The southwestern United States is experiencing its driest period in over 1,000 years. What does the future hold for water? As we drift toward sleep, let us consider, gently, the challenges and possibilities that lie ahead. By 2050, the global population is expected to reach nearly 10 billion people. Meeting the water needs of all these people will require significant changes in how we use and manage water resources. Water recycling and reuse are becoming more common. Singapore recycles much of its wastewater into drinking water, using advanced purification technology. Astronauts on the International Space Station recycle almost all their water, including water recovered from the air and from urine. The entrepreneur and environmentalist Yvon Chouinard has said, "The cure for depression is action. Taking action to protect water resources is both necessary and hopeful." Cloud seeding is a technology that attempts to increase rainfall by introducing particles into clouds. Countries including China, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States use cloud seeding to augment water supplies. The technology shows promise, but is not a solution for water scarcity alone. Smart water meters and sensors can detect leaks quickly, reducing waste. Precision agriculture uses data to deliver exactly the right amount of water to crops. Technology is making it possible to use water more efficiently. Restoring wetlands helps filter water naturally. Wetlands act like kidneys for the landscape, removing pollutants and excess nutrients from water. Protecting and restoring these ecosystems benefits both water quality and wildlife. International cooperation will be essential as water resources cross national boundaries. Many of the world's major rivers flow through multiple countries. Agreements on how to share these waters will become increasingly important. Each of us can make a difference through daily choices: fixing leaks, taking shorter showers, choosing foods with lower water footprints, supporting policies that protect water resources. Small actions, multiplied by millions of people, can have profound effects. Let your imagination expand now beyond our blue planet. Water exists not only on Earth, but throughout our solar system and across the universe. Mars once had liquid water on its surface. Today, most of that water is frozen at the poles or trapped underground. Finding water on Mars would be crucial for any future human settlement there. Europa, a moon of Jupiter, has an ocean of liquid water beneath its icy surface. This ocean may contain more than twice as much water as all of Earth's oceans combined. Some scientists believe this hidden ocean could harbor life. The astronomer Carl Sagan, who did so much to inspire wonder about the cosmos, said, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. Perhaps that something includes alien life in the waters of distant moons." Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, shoots geysers of water vapor and ice into space. This moon also appears to have a subsurface ocean. The Cassini spacecraft flew through these geysers and detected complex organic molecules. Comets are sometimes called dirty snowballs. They are largely composed of ice with dust mixed in. When comets pass close to the sun, their ice vaporizes, creating the spectacular tails we see from Earth. Some scientists believe comets may have delivered much of Earth's water billions of years ago. In the early solar system, countless comets bombarded the young Earth, possibly filling our oceans from space. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, has lakes and seas on its surface, but these are not made of water. They are filled with liquid methane and ethane. It is a strange mirror of Earth, with a liquid cycle but different chemistry. The search for water on other planets is central to the search for extraterrestrial life. Wherever we find water on Earth, we find life. Scientists believe this may be true throughout the universe. Beneath the surface of lakes, rivers, and oceans lives an astonishing diversity of creatures. Let your mind wander now among these water beings, floating with them through their liquid world. Fish were among the first vertebrates to evolve, more than 500 million years ago. Today, there are over 34,000 known species of fish, more than all mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians combined. The blue whale is the largest animal ever to have lived on Earth. An adult blue whale can reach 100 feet in length and weigh as much as 200 tons. Its heart alone is the size of a small car. The naturalist David Attenborough has observed, "No one will protect what they don't care about, and no one will care about what they have never experienced. Perhaps tonight, in imagination, you can experience the wonder of underwater worlds." Some fish can live in water so hot it would scald a human. Others survive in the crushing darkness of ocean trenches. Fish have adapted to almost every aquatic environment on Earth. The lungfish can survive drought by burrowing into mud and entering a dormant state. It can remain like this for years, waiting for rain to return. When water fills its burrow again, it awakens and resumes its life. Salmon are born in freshwater streams, migrate to the ocean where they spend years growing, then return to the exact stream of their birth to spawn. They navigate using the Earth's magnetic field and the unique chemical signature of their home waters. Dolphins sleep with half their brain at a time. One hemisphere rests while the other stays alert, allowing them to continue breathing and watching for predators. They must consciously decide to breathe. It is not automatic as it is for us. Sea turtles return to the same beaches where they were born to lay their eggs. Some travel thousands of miles across open ocean to reach their nesting sites. This navigation ability remains one of nature's great mysteries. The anglerfish of the deep sea uses a bioluminescent lure to attract prey in the darkness. Many deep-sea creatures produce their own light through chemical reactions. In the blackness of the abyss, life finds a way to shine. There is a gentle controversy about whether water can hold memory. Some researchers have proposed that water can retain an imprint of substances it has contacted. This idea remains unproven by mainstream science, but it speaks to our deep fascination with water's properties. What is certain is that water carries the memory of the earth. The water you drink today has passed through countless bodies, countless clouds, countless rivers throughout history. The Japanese researcher Masaru Emoto claimed that water could be influenced by human emotions and thoughts, forming different crystal patterns when frozen. While his work has not been validated scientifically, it has inspired many to think about their relationship with water. The psychologist William James wrote, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind, whether or not water holds memory. Our attitude toward water shapes how we use and protect it." What we can say with certainty is that water shapes memory in our minds. The sound of waves, the smell of rain, the feeling of a cold stream, these sensations lodge deep in our consciousness. Water can carry pollutants for decades. Contamination that entered groundwater in the past may still be moving slowly through aquifers today. In this sense, water does carry a kind of memory of human activities. Ice cores from glaciers contain air bubbles trapped thousands of years ago. Scientists analyze these bubbles to understand ancient atmospheres. The ice remembers what the air was like when mammoths roamed, and human civilization was just beginning. Sediments at the bottom of lakes and oceans hold records of the past. Pollen, all fossils, chemical traces all accumulate in layers, creating a history that scientists can read. Water gathers and preserves these records over millennia. Let us rest now with the sounds of water. These sounds have soothed human beings since our ancestors first gathered by streams and listened to the sea. The sound of a babbling brook is often used for relaxation. This sound contains a mix of frequencies that our brains find pleasant and calming. It is called pink noise, similar to the sound of a heartbeat or steady rain. Ocean waves create a rhythmic pattern that mirrors the human breath. The wash of waves coming in, the pause, the retreat. This rhythm can entrain our breathing, slowing it down, calming our nervous system. The singer and composer Tori Amos once said, "I think the sea sometimes takes away the words, but it holds the feeling. Tonight, let the sounds of water hold you." Rain on a roof creates a sense of shelter and safety. Inside, warm and dry, while the rain falls outside. This contrast activates deep feelings of comfort and security. Thunder is the sound of lightning heating air so rapidly it explodes outward. The rumble we hear is the sound wave reaching us, often echoing off clouds and terrain. distant thunder can be strangely soothing, a reminder of nature's power held at a safe distance. Waterfalls create a constant, enveloping sound called white noise. This sound contains all frequencies equally, which can mask other noises and help the mind settle into rest. The drip of water in a cave, slow and regular, marks the passage of time. Over centuries, these drips build stalactites and stalagmites, nature's patient sculptures. The songs of whales travel through the ocean for hundreds of miles. These haunting sounds, recorded and shared, remind us that we share this planet with other intelligent beings, creatures who also communicate through the medium of water. Water engages all our senses. Let us consider each one now, letting awareness move gently through the ways we experience water. The sight of water is calming. Research has shown that even looking at images of water can reduce stress and anxiety. The color blue itself is associated with calm and tranquility. No wonder we are drawn to the sea, to lakes, to swimming pools. The taste of pure water is considered to have no taste at all. Yet water from different sources tastes different. Spring water may carry minerals that give it a subtle flavor. Our taste buds can detect differences we might not consciously notice. The oceanographer Rachel Carson, who wrote so beautifully about the sea, said, "In every outthrust headland, in every curving beach, in every grain of sand there is the story of the earth. Water helps us sense this story." The touch of water can range from the sting of ice to the comfort of a warm bath. Our skin is remarkably sensitive to water's temperature and flow. Floating in water can feel like weightlessness, relieving the constant pull of gravity. The smell of the ocean, sometimes called sea air, comes partly from dimethyl sulfide, a compound produced by phytoplankton. This smell is so distinctive that it can evoke powerful memories of time spent by the sea. The sound of water, as we've discussed, calms the mind. From gentle rain to crashing surf, water sounds speak directly to our nervous system, inviting relaxation. Studies show that people are happier and more creative when they are near water. Marine biologist Wallace Nichols calls this our blue mind, a mildly meditative state we enter when we are in, on, under, or near water. Let us gather now the wisdom of many cultures about water. These sayings and proverbs have been passed down through generations, carrying insights about this essential element. An African proverb teaches, "When the well is full, no one thinks of water. We take water for granted until it becomes scarce." From Japan comes the saying, "The frog in the well knows nothing of the great ocean." Our perspective is limited by our experience, yet the world is vast. Chinese wisdom reminds us, water can both float and sink a boat. The same force that supports us can also overwhelm us. The actor and environmentalist Morgan Freeman once observed, "I gravitate toward gravelly words of wisdom, things that are easy to remember and easy to apply." Water proverbs fit this description well. A Persian proverb says, "What good is running when you are on the wrong road? Like water, wisdom finds the correct path eventually. From India, you cannot clean your face with dirty water. The means must be worthy of the end. The Irish say, still waters run deep. Quiet surfaces may hide great depths of thought and feeling. Native American wisdom teaches, water is life's matter and matrix, mother and medium. Without water, there is no life. An Arabic proverb advises, write the bad things that are done to you in sand, but write the good things that happen to you on a piece of marble. Let the tides wash away grievances, while blessings remain carved in stone. From Greece comes the ancient insight. A drop of water carves through stone not by force, but by persistence. Patience and consistency overcome the hardest obstacles. As we journey towards sleep, let us hold gently the awareness that water is precious. These reminders are not meant to trouble your rest, but to plant seeds of mindfulness for tomorrow. A 5-minute shower uses about 10 gallons of water. A 10-minute shower uses about 20. Each minute matters. Turning off the tap while brushing your teeth saves about 3 gallons per brushing. Over a year, that is more than 2,000 gallons for just one person. The anthropologist Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. This is as true for water as for anything else. Running your dishwasher only when full uses water more efficiently than washing dishes by hand. The same is true for laundry. Full loads mean fewer loads. Watering gardens in the early morning reduces evaporation. Mulching around plants helps soil retain moisture. Choosing native plants reduces the need for watering altogether. Collecting rainwater in barrels provides free water for gardens. This ancient practice is being rediscovered by modern gardeners. Rain falls freely from the sky. We need only catch it. Checking for leaks in pipes, faucets, and toilets can prevent significant water waste. A toilet that runs continuously can waste thousands of gallons per month. Eating less meat reduces your water footprint. It takes far more water to produce a pound of beef than a pound of vegetables or grain. Dietary choices ripple outward in unexpected ways. Water is a natural teacher of meditation. Its qualities mirror the qualities of a peaceful mind. Let us explore this connection now, as your body relaxes ever deeper. Water is patient. It does not hurry. A river may take millions of years to carve its path. In meditation, we learn to stop hurrying, to let things unfold in their own time. Water is adaptable, as Bruce Lee taught us. Water takes the shape of whatever contains it. In meditation, we learn to adapt to circumstances rather than fighting against them. The Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh has written, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. Like water, our thoughts and feelings are always moving. Breath anchors us in the present. Water is reflective. A still pool becomes a perfect mirror. In meditation, when the mind becomes still, we can see ourselves more clearly. Water is cleansing. It washes away dirt and impurities. In meditation, we allow thoughts and worries to be washed away, leaving the mind clear and refreshed. Water seeks the lowest point. It does not strive to be above anything. In meditation, we let go of ego and ambition, finding peace in simply being. Water is powerful without aggression. Over time, it shapes the hardest stone. In meditation, we discover that gentleness has its own power, that softness can overcome hardness. Water is essential. Life cannot exist without it. In meditation, we connect with what is essential in ourselves, stripping away the unnecessary. Throughout history, water has been associated with healing. Hot springs, mineral baths, sea cures have drawn the sick and weary for millennia. The ancient Greeks and Romans built elaborate bathhouses where citizens could relax and socialize. These baths were considered essential to health and civilization. Some Roman baths had heated floors and walls, creating steam rooms, not unlike modern spas. Hot springs occur where geothermally heated water rises to the surface. The minerals dissolved in these waters, such as sulfur, silica, and various salts, were believed to have curative properties. The physician Hippocrates, known as the father of medicine, wrote, "The natural healing force within each one of us is the greatest force in getting well." He prescribed bathing and drinking mineral waters for various ailments. Hydrotherapy, the use of water for pain relief and treatment, was widely practiced in the 19th century. Patients at water cure establishments would take cold baths, wet sheet wraps, and drink large quantities of water. Modern research has confirmed some benefits of water immersion. Warm baths can reduce muscle soreness, lower blood pressure, and improve sleep quality. The buoyancy of water relieves pressure on joints. Floating in salt water, such as in a float tank, creates a sensation of weightlessness. This can induce deep relaxation, reduce cortisol levels, and ease chronic pain. The experience is sometimes called sensory deprivation therapy. Swimming is considered one of the best forms of exercise. It works every major muscle group while being gentle on the joints. The rhythmic nature of swimming strokes and breathing can be meditative, calming the mind while strengthening the body. Even simply being near water seems to have health benefits. People who live near the coast report better physical and mental health. The reasons may include increased physical activity, cleaner air, and the calming effect of water views. As you drift towards sleep, you may find water appearing in your dreams. Water is one of the most common dream symbols, appearing in countless forms with many meanings. Dreaming of calm, clear water often suggests peace of mind, emotional clarity, and spiritual renewal. Such dreams may indicate that you are in harmony with your feelings. Turbulent water in dreams may reflect emotional turmoil, anxiety, or feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. Yet even stormy water dreams can be transformative, signaling change and growth. The psychiatrist Carl Jung wrote, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." Water in dreams may represent the depths of the unconscious mind, inviting us to explore what lies beneath the surface. Dreams of swimming can symbolize navigating through emotions or working through a challenging situation. Swimming with ease suggests confidence. Struggling may indicate feeling overwhelmed. Dreaming of drinking water often relates to thirst for knowledge, spiritual nourishment, or the need to replenish one's energy. Such dreams may come during times of learning or growth. Floods in dreams can represent being overwhelmed by emotions or major life changes. Yet floods also bring new life, depositing fertile soil, symbolizing renewal after destruction. Dreams of the ocean may touch on themes of the collective unconscious, the vastness of existence, or the unknown aspects of ourselves. The ocean in dreams can be both awe-inspiring and humbling. Rain in dreams can symbolize cleansing, fertility, or blessings from above. It may also represent sadness, a release of pent-up emotions, tears falling from the sky. Tonight, as you sleep, perhaps you will dream of water. If you do, greet it as a friend. Let it carry you wherever it wants to go. Water expands by about 9% when it freezes. This expansion can burst pipes in winter and crack rocks over geological time, a process called frost weathering. A healthy adult needs about 2 to 3 liters of water per day. Though much of this comes from food, fruits and vegetables are particularly water-rich. The pressure at the bottom of the ocean is more than 1,000 times atmospheric pressure at sea level. Submarines must be built incredibly strong to withstand this crushing force. The inventor and polymath Leonardo da Vinci said, "In rivers, the water that you touch is the last of what has passed, and the first of that which comes. So with present time, the Atlantic Ocean is getting wider by about 1 inch per year. As tectonic plates slowly separate, the Pacific Ocean is shrinking by roughly the same amount. A cubic mile of ocean water contains about 47 million tons of dissolved salts. If all the salt in the ocean could be extracted and spread on land, it would form a layer 500 feet thick. The longest river crossing using only human power was completed in 2019. 4 British women rowed across the Pacific Ocean in 257 days. A water molecule can spend less than a week in the atmosphere, or millions of years locked in polar ice. The average is about 9 days in the air, and thousands of years in the ocean. The human body can detect as little as a 5% change in body water. A 1% loss triggers thirst. A 10% loss causes serious symptoms. About 1 in 10 people lack access to clean drinking water. Efforts to provide universal access to safe water continue around the world. The wettest recorded day in history occurred in 1966, when over 71 inches of rain fell in a single day on the island of Réunion in the Indian Ocean. Water is not only essential for life, it is also fundamental to modern technology and industry. Let us consider, with a peaceful mind, the many ways water powers our civilization. Manufacturing a single computer chip requires approximately 2,300 gallons of water. The ultra-pure water used in chip fabrication is some of the purest water on Earth, with nearly all minerals removed. Data centers, which power the internet and store our digital lives, use vast amounts of water for cooling. A single large data center can use millions of gallons per day. The engineer and inventor Buckminster Fuller observed, "There is no energy crisis, only a crisis of ignorance." Understanding water's role in our systems is part of overcoming that ignorance. Steel production requires about 13,000 gallons of water per ton of steel. The automobile industry uses millions of gallons daily. Almost everything we manufacture requires water at some stage. Paper mills are among the most water-intensive industries. Producing a single sheet of paper requires about 3 gallons of water. Recycled paper uses less water than virgin paper. The textile industry is the second largest polluter of water globally. After agriculture, dyeing and treating fabrics releases chemicals into waterways. Choosing natural fibers and sustainable brands can reduce this impact. Cooling towers at power plants and industrial facilities evaporate water to remove heat. This is one of the most efficient ways to cool machinery, but it consumes significant amounts of water. The pharmaceutical industry requires extremely pure water for drug manufacturing. Water quality standards for injectable drugs are among the strictest in any industry. Let us take a gentle journey now around the world, visiting some of the most remarkable bodies of water on Earth. Each has its own character, its own stories, its own beauty. The Mediterranean Sea has been the center of human civilization for millennia. Its shores have seen the rise and fall of empires. Ancient Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, and Phoenicians all sailed these waters. The Caribbean Sea is known for its turquoise waters and coral reefs. The clarity of Caribbean water comes from low levels of plankton and sediment. This sea is home to some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. The explorer Alexander von Humboldt wrote, "The most dangerous worldview is the worldview of those who have not viewed the world. Through imagination, we can travel even from our beds." The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is the largest living structure on Earth, visible from space. It stretches over 1,400 miles and supports an incredible diversity of marine life. Lake Victoria in Africa is the second largest freshwater lake by surface area in the world. It is the source of the White Nile. Over 40 million people depend on this lake for water, food, and transportation. The Caspian Sea, despite its name, is actually the world's largest lake. It is bordered by 5 countries and contains significant oil and gas reserves beneath its waters. The Norwegian fjords were carved by glaciers during the ice ages. These long, narrow inlets are surrounded by steep cliffs and are among the most dramatic landscapes on Earth. The cenotes of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula are natural sinkholes filled with fresh water. The ancient Maya considered them sacred entrances to the underworld. Today, swimmers and divers explore their crystalline depths. Water marks the turning of the seasons. Spring rains awaken dormant seeds. Summer storms cool the heated land. Autumn mists herald the coming cold. Winter snow blankets the sleeping earth. In spring, melting snow swells rivers and fills reservoirs. This snowmelt provides water for cities and farms throughout the dry months. In the American West, about 75% of water supply comes from snowpack. Summer thunderstorms can produce spectacular lightning displays. These storms occur when warm, moist air rises rapidly, forming towering cumulonimbus clouds. A single thunderstorm can contain more energy than an atomic bomb. The poet John Keats wrote in his Ode to Autumn, "Season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, Close bosom friend of the maturing sun, autumn brings morning dew and evening fog, water suspended in the cooling air. The first frost of autumn signals a change. Water vapor in the air crystallizes on cold surfaces, coating grass and leaves with delicate white crystals. Plants begin to prepare for winter dormancy. Winter brings the quiet of snow. Fresh snow absorbs sound, creating a hushed landscape. This is why the world seems so silent after a snowfall. The polar regions experience extreme seasonal changes in ice cover. In Antarctica, sea ice nearly doubles the size of the continent in winter, then shrinks back in summer. Seasonal floods have shaped human civilization. The annual flooding of the Nile deposited rich soil, making Egyptian agriculture possible. Many ancient calendars were based on flood cycles. Water has shaped human history more than perhaps any other factor. Civilizations rose where water was plentiful and fell when water became scarce. The earliest human settlements clustered around water sources. Rivers provided drinking water, fish, transportation, and irrigation for crops. Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, is often called the cradle of civilization. The invention of aqueducts allowed cities to grow beyond the limits of local water supplies. Rome at its height had 11 aqueducts bringing water from distant sources. Some of these aqueducts still function today, 2,000 years later. The historian Arnold Toynbee observed, "Civilizations die from suicide, not by murder. Many ancient civilizations failed when they exhausted their water resources or suffered prolonged drought. The Mayan civilization collapsed partly due to severe droughts. The Khmer Empire of Cambodia declined as its elaborate water management system failed. Water scarcity has toppled empires. The Industrial Revolution was powered by water as well as coal. Water wheels powered early factories, steam engines, which transformed society, were essentially devices for turning water into mechanical power. The construction of the Suez and Panama canals revolutionized global trade. These waterways shortened shipping routes dramatically, connecting oceans and continents in new ways. Wars have been fought over water, and more may come. As populations grow and climates change, competition for water resources intensifies. Cooperation over shared water sources will be essential for peace. Let your imagination dive beneath the surface now, where creatures of water live their mysterious lives. From the tiniest plankton to the great whales, water teems with life. Plankton. Microscopic organisms that drift in water produce about half of all the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. These tiny creatures, invisible to the naked eye, are essential to life on land as well as in the sea. The octopus is considered one of the most intelligent invertebrates. Octopuses can solve puzzles, open jars, recognize individual humans, and even use tools. They have 3 hearts and blue blood. The marine biologist Rachel Carson wrote, "In every curving beach, in every grain of sand, there is the story of the earth, and in every drop of seawater, there is a universe of life." The giant squid, once thought to be mythical, has eyes the size of dinner plates, the largest in the animal kingdom. These eyes help them see in the darkness of the deep ocean. Seahorses are among the most unusual fish. They swim upright, have no teeth or stomach, and the male carries the developing eggs in a pouch. Some seahorses mate for life. The box jellyfish is considered the most venomous marine animal. Its sting can be fatal to humans within minutes. Yet even deadly creatures have their place in the ocean's ecology. Coral polyps, the tiny animals that build coral reefs, have a symbiotic relationship with algae that live within them. The algae provide food through photosynthesis. The coral provides shelter. The coelacanth, a fish thought to be extinct for 65 million years, was discovered alive in 1938. It is considered a living fossil, little changed since the age of dinosaurs. Water is in everything we eat and drink. Let us consider now the gentle ways water nourishes us through the foods we consume. Watermelon is about 92% water. Eating watermelon on a hot day is a delicious way to hydrate. Strawberries, oranges, and grapes are also high in water content. Soup is one of humanity's oldest prepared foods. Hot soup warms the body, delivers nutrients, and hydrates all at once. Nearly every culture has its traditional soups. The chef Julia Child said, "People who love to eat are always the best people, and all who eat depend on water for their food." Tea is the most consumed beverage in the world after water. Making tea is simply infusing water with leaves. The ritual of tea preparation is meditative in itself, a daily practice in many cultures. Coffee, beloved by millions, is mostly water. The quality of water used to brew coffee significantly affects its taste. Baristas pay close attention to water temperature and mineral content. Bread, that staple of human diet, requires water to form the gluten that gives it structure. The ratio of water to flour is crucial in baking. Fermentation, which produces beer, wine, bread, yogurt, and countless other foods, occurs in the presence of water. Yeasts and bacteria work their magic in liquid environments. Cooking often involves water. Boiling, steaming, poaching, making sauces and stocks. Water transforms ingredients, softening, blending, creating new textures and flavors. Poets throughout history have found in water an endless source of inspiration. Let us rest now with a few more of their words, letting the poetry wash over us like gentle waves. The Sufi poet Rumi wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." This speaks to the infinite contained within each of us. Emily Dickinson offered this observation. "My life closed twice before its close. It yet remains to see, if immortality unveil, a third event to me, so huge, so hopeless to conceive, as these that twice befell. Parting is all we know of heaven, and all we need of hell. Like water, life flows through partings and reunions." William Wordsworth found solace in nature and water. Come forth into the light of things. Let nature be your teacher. Water is among nature's greatest teachers. The Japanese haiku master Matsuo Basho composed, "An old silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond. Splash. Silence again." In just a few words, the essence of water and stillness. The American poet Robert Frost wrote, "I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain, Rain accompanies both our loneliness and our perseverance. The musician and poet Leonard Cohen sang, "There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Like water, light finds its way through the smallest openings." We've traveled far together tonight, through oceans and rivers, through rain and snow, through the water within our bodies and beyond our world. Now it is time to let these facts and thoughts settle. Like sediment to the bottom of a quiet pool, let the surface of your mind become still. Your body is heavy now, sinking into comfort like a stone into warm water. Your breathing is slowed, each breath like a gentle wave, rising and falling, rising and falling. The actress Audrey Hepburn, known for her grace and wisdom, once said, "The most important thing is to enjoy your life, to be happy. It's all that matters." In sleep, we return to ourselves, renewed like water in the eternal cycle. Water asks nothing of us. It simply is. It flows where it will. It fills what needs to be filled. It sustains without demanding thanks. Tonight, may your sleep be as deep as the ocean, as peaceful as a mountain lake, as refreshing as a cool spring. Let go now of the day's concerns. Let them dissolve like salt in water, carried away, dispersed, no longer solid, no longer burdensome. As you drift deeper towards sleep, here are a few more gentle facts about water, floating like stars in the night sky of your consciousness. A person's body contains about 10 to 12 gallons of water. This water is completely replaced every few weeks. As we drink, eat, breathe, and excrete, we are water in constant motion. The water molecule is bent at an angle of about 104 degrees. This simple geometric fact gives water many of its unusual properties. Water vapor is the most abundant greenhouse gas in our atmosphere, responsible for about half of the greenhouse effect. But unlike carbon dioxide, water vapor cycles through the atmosphere quickly. The physicist and mathematician Blaise Pascal wrote, "Rivers are roads which move, and which carry us whither we desire to go. Let the river of sleep carry you now." There are about 326 million trillion gallons of water on Earth. This number is almost impossible to imagine, yet it represents a finite, precious resource. The sound of water can mask tinnitus, the ringing in ears that troubles many people. White noise machines often use water sounds for this reason. Approximately 2/3 of the human brain is water. Even mild dehydration can affect cognitive function, memory, and mood. The pressure of water doubles for every 33 feet of depth. Divers must carefully manage this pressure to avoid injury. Clean water and sanitation prevent about 10% of global disease burden. Simply having access to safe water transforms lives and communities. We've come to the end of our journey now, though water's journey never ends. The water in you tonight will someday fall as rain in distant lands, will flow in rivers not yet named, will sustain lives not yet born. Remember the words of Bruce Lee that began our evening? Be water, my friend. Be formless. Be shapeless. Adapt to whatever contains you. Flow when you can. Rest when you must. The philosopher Lao Tzu left us with this wisdom. The highest goodness is like water. Water benefits all things and does not compete with them. It dwells in lowly places that all disdain. This is why it is so near to the way. May you embody the virtues of water. May you flow around obstacles. May you reflect the light. May you nourish those around you. Your eyes are heavy now. Perhaps they are already closed. Your body is relaxed, supported, at peace. Let the sounds of water play in your mind. The gentle rain on a roof, the soft lapping of waves on a shore, the distant rumble of a waterfall, the quiet drip of a spring. You are made of water. You are part of the great cycle. Tonight, as you sleep, you return to the source. Sleep now. Rest well. Be water. And when you wake, refreshed and renewed, remember that the water within you is the water of ancient oceans, of countless clouds, of rain that fell on dinosaurs, of springs that witnessed the first humans. You carry the ocean within you. You carry the rivers. You carry the rain. Be water, my friend. Good night.